From Radio Row, here's your host, Christopher Russo.
All right, very good. Nice to have you with us. Highly doubtful, by the way, that the Fox #1 team will do the Thursday night package. Highly doubtful that that will occur. We've tried to get Joe Buck on. We haven't found Joe Buck. I don't know where Joe is, but Eddie doesn't have a number for him, so we can't get Joe Buck on. I'll have to track him down myself. But no Joe Buck, and he'd be perfect right now. He'd perfect spot on a Wednesday to get a few minutes with Joe, but not an opportunity as we speak. Here is Mike in St. Louis, and he says hello at 15 in front of the hour here on Mad Dog Unleashed. Mike, good afternoon. How are you today, okay?
Hi, Dog. How are you?
All right, Mike, nice to talk to you again. Let me hear your thoughts. Fire away.
Hey, actually, I wanted to talk about Joe Buck. So you're into this broadcasting stuff. I am, too. If you could have one announcer to do the Super Bowl right now, do you prefer Al Michaels or Joe Buck? Because they've both done a bunch. They're both on probably the Mount Rushmore of broadcasters.
Oh, Michaels.
Currently.
Michaels.
Okay.
I think Michaels is a preeminent broadcaster. Buck is excellent. Nance can handle this game well, too. But I would have Michaels do the game. A little older, I get that. But his pedigree speaks for itself. He's had a long, unbelievable, distinguished career. I would pick even at 72 or 3, whatever Al is, I would still have Al do the ball game over Joe. It's close, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a slam dunk, but I think I would have Michaels do the game.
Well, and a reason I thought about it is because last week during the contest, you played a radio clip of Jack Buck, the missed kick. And I think a lot of people forget Jack Buck was a great NFL announcer, and I think it kind of got lost in the shuffle because he never got to call a Super Bowl. So
Well, he did on radio. You're right. He 100%. Jack was.
He never got to do television.
Right.
For the Super Bowl.
Excellent point. He may have done one of the early ones somewhere. But you're right. Gowdy, and I don't know if he did that first one. I don't think he did. You're right. Super Bowl I. It was Gowdy and Chrisman on NBC. Both networks broadcast it. I don't think he did. We used to ask that as a trivia question, Mike, and he did not do, I don't think, that first one. Remember, Buck did do the part of the championship games there with Dallas and Green Bay. He was in the mix, but Jack never got a chance. Jack was an excellent play-by-play guy in both sports, and baseball was his love, so that's number one. But overall, you're 100% right. Jack was he's almost a little overshadowed in some cases. When he got to baseball, Scully was there. Football, he had Summerall. He's a little overshadowed from a national perspective, but he's a great broadcaster. There's no question about it. Go ahead.
Right. Always one of my favorites just because I grew up near St. Louis, listening to him always on the radio. And I love Joe Buck, too, but I do think that, Joe's gotten the opportunities that his dad, frankly, never got in football. And I think Jack could have been that guy in football. He just, unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time. Thanks,
yeah, 100%.
Appreciate all
Mike.
you talking about.
The bottom line is about these network jobs in big spots. You got to be on a network that gets the packages, and that's what it comes down to. If you're on the network that gets the packages, you're going to get a great opportunity to shine. And the thing about Joe works for Fox. Fox has an incredible amount of money. They don't have a great primetime lineup. They're always 4 and a distant 4, so sports is very important to them. I don't think it's as important to CBS or NBC. So as a result, Fox will always overpay to get big events. They overpaid to get the golf. They overpaid the football. I'm sure they went nuts here with the Thursday night. They gave the NFL 5 years. Fox they overpaid for baseball. Fox will always overpay because they have a bigger need for these events than CBS and NBC do. So as a result, if you are a broadcaster for Fox, and in this case Buck, you're in an ideal situation because you're the number one guy for a network that needs the sports. Well, if you're CBS and NBC, they want the sports, but they're not going to go crazy and break the budget. I mean, remember, NBC's got the Olympics. CBS has a million events. They got golf. They got this. They got that. They got the NCAA. So from that perspective, the tournament in basketball, from that perspective, Fox has more of a need. So Buck has been in a great scenario there for a long period of time, and I guess he won't do the Thursday night. Remember, NBC, CBS, the guys doubled down, and they did those Thursday night games, which I'm sure drove him crazy. Nance did the Thursday night games with Romo, and obviously Thursday night was done by by Al, at times Tirico, and Collinsworth. Here is Mark in Vegas. He's with us here on Mad Dog Unleashed. Mark, good afternoon. How are you today?
Dog, thanks for the call. I'll get right to it. Everybody's bashing Kirk Cousins. I think it's a great move from him. I don't know what these callers are seeing. This is a guy who had absolutely no tutelage and still is able to average 4,400, 4,500 yards every single year since 2015. He had no more than 12 or 13 interceptions. He's averaging around 25, 26 touchdowns. And on top of that, last year he had no receiving core. He got rid of Deshaun Jackson, Pierre Garçon, no identity in the running.
Well, they had the receiving core the year before. When he had the receiving core marked the year before, how'd he do?
He did pretty well. But here's the thing.
No, he didn't. They were 8-7-1. They were 8-7-1. They lost to Carolina and the Giants in the last two of the three games they were at home, and they did nothing offensively. He stunk against the Giants.
Dog, here's what I'm saying. You're hinging the fact that a quarterback should or shouldn't take you to the playoffs, i.e. Blake Bortles. What about your buddy in San Diego? When's the last time he won a playoff game? Look at Tyrod Taylor. Somehow he tripped and fell into the playoffs. So that's kind of irrelevant. This is a top-producing quarterback. On top of that, if you look at Andy Reid, dog, he's sending Alex Smith. Alex Smith, if anybody from Philly knows Andy Reid or anybody knows Andy Reid, he's a system quarterback guy. You have to play into his system. So Alex Smith is not going to do as well because the history.
Well, no, he played well in San Francisco, Alex Smith, for Harbaugh, who's not an Andy Reid disciple. So that doesn't make any sense. Smith played in good call. Smith played well, and he played well in Utah for Urban Meyer. So I don't buy that. I do not buy that. Alex Smith on that team will do a nice job. He played very well for Harbaugh. They won a playoff game. Played a championship setting against the Giants. And again, everybody want to make a big excuse about Cousins. You need to make the postseason in the NFL when the game is there for you to win. And against the Giants in Carolina, you get the job done. Case closed. No argument. 9 in front of the hour. We continue. Mad Dog Unleashed.